So I've been thinking about how and why the world and many of the people in it seem to be getting more crazy and more afraid of everything seemingly every single day. And I've been thinking, why is it? Maybe I wouldn't be thinking about this as much if I didn't just have a daughter, right? So I've got a young daughter, less than a year and a half old. So I think about her and her future and the world that she's inheriting and, the last 24 months. And then you turn on the news and the news is just at an all-time high of just propaganda and all that fun stuff, social media censorship, all the arguments between political sides. To top it off, we've got inflation at insane levels. Some places in America even basic like $7.99 gas, $7.99 gas. It's just like we've got like hyperinflation. We have supply chain disruptions, and then they're like, "Hey guys, prepare this holiday season for there not to be any presents on the shelves at stores, guys." And it's just like I'm just like, why is the world getting crazier? And here's what I've come to believe is that I'm a spiritual being. I don't believe I'm a body. I'm not a person in this world. I'm in this world, but I am not of this world. I'm a spiritual being in a physical body. I'm a soul. My daughter is a soul. You're a soul. We're all spirit. And we are a spiritual being, the essence of which proceeds after death. And that we've come here into this journey for all of us for our own reasons, for our own spiritual growth, for our own things we're supposed to learn. And I believe that the reason it's getting crazy, and it'll probably get a little bit more crazier, is because the crazier things get in the world, the more it makes a lot of people detached from the world, which is the process of like waking up. Is like eventually you get to this point where you start to like look within yourself and you start to go, is this true? Is this true? Is this true? Is this true? And like that's what they call like the matrix or taking the red pill or what have you. It's waking up. And you start to just like detach a little bit from the matrix, from the third dimensional reality of the 5 sense world that we've come to believe is who we are. But everything changes when we ask ourselves one question. So what if all this crazy stuff is happening for people to go, whoa, this is crazy. It makes your head spin so much that it ultimately makes you detach from the matrix, which ultimately aids spiritual awakening, because we finally go, what's the point of all of this? And who am I? Because there wasn't that long ago, if you asked me who I was, I would have said, I'm Jake. And in the right circumstances, I sometimes still say that. Like if I'm like crossing the border, right, at immigration, and they're like, passport, who are you? And I'm like, I'm a spiritual being in a physical body. And, I'd get pulled into the back room more than likely. But if you would have asked me not that long ago, who am I would have said, Jake. Well, who are you? I would have went on to describe myself. Well, I'm 6'3", I'm this much weight, my eyes are blue, here's my story of who I am, I'm this many years old. I would have described my body and where my body has been. But I am not my body any more than I am my fingernail. In the same way that I rent a car in a new city, and I use that car in order to experience the city, my body is a rental car for my soul. So what if all of this crazy stuff is happening for us to stop paying attention to it anymore? What if that's why it's happening? What if the point of the herd, what if the point of society was to learn to walk away from it and go within yourself and find out who you are and why you're really here? Because you have a different reason for why you're here than I do. And I have a different reason for being here than you do. But when we start to go within and turn the volume down, on the volume knob on the world outside of ourselves, that's the Great Awakening. And that's when people stop listening to the control systems of the world, and people stop listening to Hollywood and the news and the education system and the major mega churches, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that old system falls away, and then we create a new one. So what if all of this is happening for us to actually wake up? Because what happens is a lot of times suicides is at record high, and mental health is at all-time record highs. So all of that being true, what happens when we start to feel emotionally unwell? We're asking ourselves, why are we here? Why is this happening? Why is this happening to us? And we can't figure out a good answer. And if we just get attached to the craziness of the world and how insane it's becoming at face value, then we go, why is this happening? And we don't have a good answer. And then it's just depressing and it's overbearing and it's just like, oh, I just want to be in my room by myself, right? But if we realize that it's happening for us to actually wake up to who we are, and we recognize that you are a soul and you aren't a body, you have a body, but you are a soul, then maybe all of this is happening and we incarnated here in bodies to begin with, to incarnate into a crazy lower dimension in order to ultimately reconnect to ourself as soul, thus reconnecting to God, obtaining some degree of spiritual enlightenment that allows us to move on to the next level of the game that's just after this planet Earth dimension. And then we reincarnate to a new level. What if it was just like that? So we were here on this crazy level just to learn these things. Then all of a sudden we can let go of our depression. We can let go of our feeling of hopelessness and helplessness and feeling uninspired. We can take a deep breath. We can ask the universe to speak through us, and we can get inspired. What do I want to create? Who do I want to be? How do I want to feel? And when we are inspired, we are in spirit. And when we're in spirit, we're connected to the creative power of the universe, which means good things will be headed your way, are headed your way. And regardless of what's happening in the world around you, you still have your own freedom, which is what Viktor Frankl taught us. He's that guy that wrote A Man's Search for Meaning, about being in the concentration camps. And he was a psychologist before. And so he got to this place where the Nazis took away everything from him except for his ability to think what he wanted. So he still had this inner level of freedom that even though his body and most of his reality was enslaved, it couldn't be controlled. And when we all start to live from that type of place with the craziness in the world, then maybe what ends up happening is we realize that it's happening for us. Not to us, it's happening for us. So then the question is, what are you here for, and what is the universe trying to show you right now in your life? So as the world gets crazier and makes less sense, remind yourself of this Howard Thurman quote. He said, "Don't ask what the world needs. Do not ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive. And go do it." Because what the world needs is people who've come alive. What does it mean to become alive, right? And you can feel it subconsciously. Somebody has magnetism and a lot of life force, a lot of energy. You could just feel it. It's attractive, right? Well, what is it to come alive? Come alive is to be connected to spirit. What is inspired? Inspired is in spirit. That's what the word means. It means when you're connected to the Holy Spirit, when you're connected to your true self, when you're connected to the universe and to life itself, and you're living from that place. So the world doesn't want you to be inspired. The system, the control system, the algorithms, Mark Zuckerberg doesn't want you to be inspired. He wants you to be so uninspired that you put the metaverse mask on, duct tape it to your head, let him feed you cricket protein paste through a straw, and spend 24 hours in his virtual reality meta universe and never come out again. They don't want you to be inspired. Why would they want you to be inspired? They're actively trying to make you uninspired. That's the way the entire social media algorithm is designed to do. So the best thing you can do is to come alive. That's how you fight the system, is to live an inspired life. That's how you do it. Because very few people are doing it. Very few people have showed that there are no limitations to which we do not self-impose. And that's why we love counterculture people, because they show us that our only limitations are self-imposed, that we can be successful. You can be this big, independent, successful musician, and you can be this big, independent, successful news person using YouTube instead of the big major news stations. You can make your life a reality. So don't ask what the world needs. ask what makes you come alive. Like, what in your life makes you come alive? What would have to happen in the next 12 months for you to look back and say it was the most successful and fulfilling year yet? What would have to happen in the next 12 months for you to look back and say it was the most successful and fulfilling year yet? And once you think of the answer to that, what would it feel like if you didn't allow your old thinking to control you, to stop you from doing it? Ask what makes you come alive and go do it, because what the world needs is more people who've come alive. The zombie apocalypse is already here, ladies and gentlemen. 99% of people are asleep at the wheel of their lives. The zombie apocalypse is already here. It's not coming, it's already here. We become so docile. We become like robots already. People are like, fear the robots, man, they're coming to get us. Most people are already robots. They're not, that's why Benjamin Franklin, guess what he said? Most people die at 25, but they aren't buried until they're 75. And then they die at 25, but they aren't buried till 75. So that's a 50-year window where the system pulls everything out of you. You spend 50 years in credit card debt. You spend 50 years paying off the banks for this and that. Well, they print the money at 0% out of nowhere. They enslave everyone, and you spend 50 years asleep. People go like, how do we fix everything that's happening? They want to, and they want to get everyone. We fix it by coming alive. You fix it by being the most badass version of yourself and showing everybody that limitations are only self-imposed. And that's how we break out of this. And so that's the end of my rant for today. If you enjoyed this rant and you don't think I'm crazy, let me know in the comments right there down below. What do you think? Let me know if you enjoyed this video. YouTube's always changing the algorithm and all that type of stuff. One of the ways you can support it, I know it's a long video and then you want to go to the next video and you're like, I got something to do. But if you give me a comment down below, let me know what you think of this video. Hit the like button and the bell notification. That'll be a combo to let YouTube know to continue to send this video out to more people in the YouTube universe. Be sure to check out my free success hypnosis. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It's right there down below. When I learned all this stuff about the world, I asked myself a simple question. Is the world brainwashing me? Or have I brainwashed myself? Either the world's brainwashing you or you brainwash yourself. So I started hypnotizing myself and I started reprogramming my mind and programming myself to be a happy, spiritual, healthy millionaire. Happy, spiritual, healthy millionaire. I started programming myself that I give all my talents with love. I'm wonderfully blessed financially. I'm excited. Great things come my way every single day. And I started programming it into me. I basically turned myself into my own MK Ultra study to become the best version of myself. And you can erase that old virus operating system in your mind and reprogram it too. So use my free success hypnosis. It's jakeshypnosis.com right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It's free to use. Just listen to it for a couple minutes every day and start building new programs in the operating system of your supercomputer so you can create your own reality because you have free will control over your own life.